Hello and welcome to another episode of the Nice Knit Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to go through a few projects that I have been working on, introduce one new project that I have cast onto, and then finally we're going to talk about some new yarn, some puzzles, and a new game that I'm kind of obsessed with. My name is Laramie if you're new here, and let's just dive right in. Since I haven't said it in a while, I feel like I should say that The Nice Knit is a podcast where we talk about knitting, and it's nice. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about knitting. This is a long overdue episode. I feel a little bit out of practice. I don't even remember the last time I did a podcast episode. I think this semester started in August, and ever since then, I was like swept away in the chaos of school, and now it is November. It is November 3rd. As I am filming this, I don't know where the time went. I turned my heat on the other day. It's been quite brisk out. I don't know where the time went, but I have a few things to share with you today. I've got a pile over here and a pile right here, and I want to start with telling you about some mittens that I decided to make. So it got cold, or at least it got chilly out, and I realized that I don't know where any of my gloves are. Like, I have the gloves that I wear out to the barn when I go work with my horses, but those are not the gloves that I want to wear to school or like wear when I'm out and about because they smell like horses. If you've been around horses, you know the smell. And while I don't hate the smell, I don't necessarily want to wear my horse glove mittens to work with me. So as somebody who knits, I decided that instead of buying a pair of gloves, I would just knit some. So I started with this idea of like, I'm gonna knit a pair of gloves or mittens in one weekend. I'm gonna do it. And so the first thing I did was I pulled out my Wool Ease. So this is Wool Ease, Lion brand. It is in colorway Hudson Bay, and it is a super bulky yarn. So this is the first yarn that I pulled out. And I went to my Lane Magazine 52 Weeks of Easy Knits book, and I found a pattern, and it is called the Duo Gloves by Paulina Kinsolo. This is what the gloves look like, and I'm going to try to show this to you without giving the pattern away because it's in a book. But so this is what those gloves look like, right? I don't know how much you can see of that, to be honest. And I started knitting them. But what I realized, and I kind of knew this when I started, but I had hopes, was that these gloves require bulky weight yarn, and this is super bulky. And I didn't want to go up in a needle size because I wanted a really tight knit so that a lot of air couldn't get through the winter gloves. But it was just not fun to knit. I got maybe a quarter of the cuff done before I was like, nope, we're not finishing this project. So there were no other patterns in this particular book or in any of my other books that caught my attention. So I went to good old Ravelry and I looked in my gloves and mittens Ravelry bundle that I have created a long time ago. And I found the World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. And I've been meaning to knit these for, I don't know, the entire time I've been a knitter, I think, at this point. And so now I was like, why not knit them? If you've never used the World's Simplest Mittens, there's a few things you need to know. One, it is a free pattern. Two, it has options for kids, little kids, and 3 sizes for adults. It also has 4 different yarn weight options. You can do fingering, DK, worsted, and bulky, I think is the last one. And so you can literally make a pair of mittens for pretty much any size out of pretty much any yarn you can get your hands on. So 10 out of 10 would recommend this pattern. So I started knitting it. I picked out some yarn that I had in my stash, which in this case, if you've been around here, this won't surprise you. It's Eddie Bauer Woolpaca. However, this is the worsted weight, and it's the only worsted weight ball I think I ended up getting before Joann's, may she rest in peace, closed. But yeah, I picked up this ball of Eddie Bauer Woolpaca. It is, again, it's worsted weight, and it is in the color Evergreen. And I really like it. I think it's really pretty. So my initial goal was to knit an entire pair of mittens in one weekend. So I started Saturday morning with the Lane Magazine pattern. It was probably late morning when I decided that wasn't going to work. And on Saturday, I got one entire glove knitted. So this is my first glove using worsted weight Eddie Bauer wool packet yarn with the Tin Can Knits World's Simplest Mittens pattern. And I love them. I obviously need to knit the thumb still, but I will do that eventually. But I got one done. So then I was like super optimistic. I was like, okay, if I can get one done in just like 6 hours, then I should be able to get both of them done over the weekend. This is where the other one is at. I was a little bit too optimistic. I am on the thumb gusset, so I'm getting places. But I did not finish this in one weekend. I could have. I got this done in, like I said, about 6 hours on Saturday. But on Sunday, my friends and I got together and we built an entire D&D Lego set, which took us many hours to complete. And then afterwards, I met up with a different friend to play the game I'm going to talk to you about later. And so I actually didn't do any knitting on this, maybe like a few rows on Sunday. So I actually did most of this on Saturday after I finished the first glove. But that's super quick. Like being able to get one entire mitten knitted in less than 8 hours. I know if you're a crocheter, you're laughing at me because I know crochet is so fast. Knitting is not that fast, but I'm really proud of this. And also like free pattern, yarn already in my stash, which I love. And I'm really excited to have these. They're really soft and they're in a color that I really like. So I am excited to get this done. I don't know when I'm gonna get this done now. I'm hoping to have some time to sit down tonight and just knit, but unfortunately I do have some work that I also need to do, and I wanna get this video edited, and I wanna work with my horses. So chances are I won't actually have a chance to knit this tonight, but eventually I will get this knitted, hopefully by the time that I actually really need it when I'm walking to class or to work. I decided that the thumb is the part that I'm the least looking forward to because it's such a small circumference and I don't have the best needles for it. So I decided I'm gonna wait to do the thumbs until the very end and then just do them one after another so that I don't have to like remember what I did on this one when I get to this one. So that's the new cast on. It was kind of funny. It was almost like November 1st hit and then I was like, I wanna knit again. Like I'm gonna not do any of my other responsibilities and I just wanna knit. Like I needed that first feeling of cold weather. We got through October. It now feels solidly like we're approaching winter. And I am keeping it in this bag that I made. I even added a zipper. I made it using probably a Simplicity pattern, I think. And I got this fabric at Joann's before they closed on super sale. They're called Siesta Birds. I don't know why. They should be called Fiesta Birds because they are clearly not napping. Their eyes wide open. I don't know. Usually I keep my filming stuff in here, and you can hear I don't know if you can hear my stitch markers. Usually I keep my filming stuff in here, but I needed a bag to carry it with me to work because I wanted to work on it today. Spoiler alert, I didn't actually get a chance to work on it today. So that is the most recent project that I've cast on to. It's also the one that I've been working on the most. But moving into in progress objects or in progress knits that I have been working on briefly, but you have likely already seen before. Up first, and this is the one, if you watched my last video where I was just giving an update, it was very short while I was on vacation, I have been working on my cotton candy sweater. So this is my cotton candy sweater. It is a improvised sweater. I am using basically the Grace sweater pattern, and I'll link that video up above where I talked many times about the Grace sweater, but I'll link the video where I finished the Grace sweater. And I'm using that Grace sweater pattern to kind of self-draft my own sweater pattern, but I have been working on it. I've got a little bit farther on the body. We are nowhere close to the hem, but we are approaching the hem every round. So we're getting somewhere, and as soon as the weather got cold, I was newly excited to work on this again. So I'm really excited to at least maybe get, a few more inches before January, right? I would love to wear this at some point. And then I am knitting this with Knit and Crochet Cloud Paca. This was a Joann's brand, as you all probably are aware, and it is literally cotton candy. And then all these stripes except for the yellow one are also knit and crochet Cloud Packa. The yellow one is going to be the same yarn as my mom's sweater. Let's see if I can, we'll talk about this one next since I'm pulling it out. Oh, I don't have the logo. Okay, give me 1 second. I can find this out for you. Ah, yes. Okay, so the yellow stripe is Drops Air in just like whatever basic yellow color I could find. And this is what the logo or the label looks like. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is just my mom's sweater. It is pretty much at the same spot, but a little bit farther up as my cotton candy sweater. This is my mom's sweater that I am making for her. She has a sweater that looks exactly like this, that the style is exactly like this. I am basically just copying it. I'm using things like the Grace sweater, some of the other patterns that I have knit to inspire and like direct me as I go through this process. But I am just basing it completely off of her measurements and the measurements of the sweater that she already owns and really likes. And this is, I'm also making it with Drops Air. And this is in the color, I believe it's like a dusty rose or a desert rose. It's one of those two, but I'm inclined to believe it's dusty rose color. They only put color numbers on here. If you're interested, it is color 51. But yeah, so this, we're also in endless stockinette at this point. We are just going and going and going. So I'm excited to have that done. I would really like to get it done for her by Christmas. However, if you have spent any time on this channel, you know I suck at getting knits done in like a normal time frame. And like deadlines don't work for me. I thought they did. Everything else, I love a good deadline. For like gift knits, deadlines don't work. I still don't have things done that I promised last Christmas. So, you know, she will get this when she gets it, but she will get it eventually. And I have been actively working on it. So, you know, it's getting somewhere. Eventually I'm going to actively work on it slowly to the point where there's nothing else to work on it, right? That's how that works. But I'm really excited to have that to her one of these years, right? I always joke and say that the normal finish time for any of my projects is 3 to 5 business years. And you can interpret a business year however you see fit. All right, next project is one you probably haven't seen in a while. This is my unicorn sweater, and I want to call it my unicorn vomit sweater, but that is really gross. So I'm just calling it my unicorn sweater. I think like unicorn swirl. It's actually another knit and crochet Joann's brand yarn. It is, I think it was called Unicorn Swirl, possibly, and it was a sock yarn, or it is a sock yarn. So this is a sock weight or fingering weight yarn, and I am making a t-shirt out of it. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear Theo. He's throwing a fit. He's hungry. You know, the time change messes all the animals up. They think they need to be fed an hour earlier. And to be fair, they do. But I'm using a James Watts pattern. It is the Rib Lace Raglan by James Watts, but I removed all the lacing and the ribbing. So it's just, I'm just using basically his measurements for like the neckline and when to split for the sleeves. But other than that, I'm following the pattern and just avoiding anything that tells me to do any kind of ribbing or any kind of lace or any kind of eyelets. But you can't tell that I've made progress on this because it is fingering weight. I think it's going to be a lovely shirt when it's done, but we are still solidly in the yoke of the sweater, or the yoke of the shirt. But I'm excited to have that done, which is, I think, is all I've been saying this entire time. I am excited to have it done, though. I'm excited to have all these done, but more importantly, I'm excited to do them. I'm excited to work on them. And honestly, as a knitter, while I love having a finished object, it's the process for me. I love starting a new project and working on it. The end is great, but it's not everything. Okay, I'm gonna need to go feed my dog. BRB. All right, and finally on my list of in progress whips that I wanted to, which is in progress, works in progress, I wanted to tell you or share with you is my Gulf side tee that I'm making into this is a superwash 100% merino wool. And I'm using the exact pattern that I improvised for the Gulf side tee. Again, kind of roughly based on the Grace sweater, but I'm in the yoke still, but I'm making progress slowly. But it's just another t-shirt. It will look roughly like my Gulf side tee. Obviously it's going to drape a little bit differently because it is a wool yarn, it's superwash merino, as opposed to the Gulf side tee was 100% cotton, I believe. So, you know, they're gonna drape different, they're gonna look a little different, but the pattern itself is going to be the same. So I am very excited to have this done as well. And that is the last thing I've really been working on. Really in the last couple weeks, I've only done a few rows on all of these projects. The only project that's gotten any amount of like dedicated attention from me recently is those mittens. And that's just because I need them. Because if I don't get them done soon, I'm going to have to buy mittens because I don't have any, or maybe I lost one and I threw them away, or maybe they're tucked away somewhere safe that I'll never find them again. All right, now that we've covered my new and in progress projects, I wanted to tell you about some yarn that I recently got because it's very exciting. I'm gonna start with the small skein of yarn, but before I do want to say shout out to my neighbor Beth. She's also one of my best friends. Beth recently went on a trip to London, Scotland, and Ireland, and my one request from her was that she buy me yarn. That was my request. I really want yarn from Ireland, Scotland, London, I don't care. I just wanted yarn. And so she bought me 2 hanks of yarn. The first is that I'm going to show you, it's a mini skein, is Townhouse Yarns. It's Spire Singles, hand dyed in Ireland by Jenny. It is 100% superwash merino. It's 20 grams, 4-ply fingering weight, and the shade is Burren. And this is what she bought me. Is that not just beautiful? I am obsessed. I don't know the best way to show you all these colors, but I am obsessed with this yarn. I'm so excited to turn this into socks with like probably like I'll have a main solid color like this color, or maybe a main bright green to bring out the greens, and then just like a neutral tone. I'm so excited. And it's hand dyed in Ireland. Like it is, she went above and beyond getting me this. Thank you, Beth. This is amazing, so pretty. This is adorable, I love this. But what I'm about to show you is even cooler, I think, because she got me an entire hank this is also from Townhouse Yarns. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. It's 100 grams of 4-ply fingering weight yarn. It is hand dyed in Ireland, and the shade is Haunted House. I mean, come on. I feel like I need to take the tag off so you can actually see it. Come on. Like, what? First of all, I love a hank of yarn because they're so squishy. But like, look at these colors. I mean, yeah, she outdid herself. I can't believe how gorgeous, I mean, I can, she has great taste, but like, look how gorgeous these yarns are. I am so excited. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Like, I know I want to do like striped socks with this one, but this one has potential for other projects because there is more to it. I will still probably just make socks with it. Like I said, it's, oh, I don't know if I said this. Oh, it doesn't have the length on it. All I know is that it is, 365 meters. I'm gonna have to convert that into yards, but it's 365 meters. So I'm really excited. If you have any other projects besides socks that you think would be really good for this particular colorway and this particular type of yarn, again, it's 10% cashmere, mostly merino, also 10% nylon for that extra sock, I don't know, support. But it's so squishy. I'm so excited. So I was really pumped to show you these. As soon as she gave them to me, I was like, I gotta film a video because I want to brag about how cool Beth is for getting me those 2 yarns. And I love that she got me sock yarns because, as you know, maybe I'm currently obsessed with socks, preferably the ones I make, less so the ones that are store-bought. But I love making socks. All right, I have 2 other things I want to talk to you about. The first is about puzzles. I have been on a huge puzzle kick lately, and part of that has been doing a puzzle with one of my friends, and this specific puzzle is a Liberty puzzle. If you don't know what a Liberty puzzle is, it is a wooden jigsaw puzzle, and the pieces are cut not in normal like jigsaw puzzle pieces. They are cut into flowers and animals and people and all kinds of really cool stuff. So we actually just finished this puzzle. So I want to show you, this is the box that it came in. This is the Liberty puzzle that we did together. And it is really cool. Like, I am not sponsored, but I am going to link Liberty Puzzles down below because I just think that they are like an incredible puzzle company. Also, their puzzles are very high quality. And I will insert into this video a video of me showing you, or a picture maybe, the finished puzzle that we have done together. So this is Distracted. That's the puzzle we did. It is 14.75 inches by 14.75 inches and 526 pieces. And it was so much fun. I was so sad when we finished it, but it is beautiful. And I'll zoom in maybe and show you some of the shapes that are in there. There's like bears, butterflies, there's some people climbing, there's people running. Yeah, it's very cool. So I wanted to show you that because that is something that's been taking up a lot of my time lately. And then I also ordered another one because why not, right? So soon, hopefully, we are going to start working on Peruvian Night. And so this is the next puzzle that I would like to do. And I love birds and I love hummingbirds. So I loved that this one had hummingbirds in it and flowers. And the shapes are, it's a lot more people. There are some birds. There are bugs, like bug shapes in this one. That's how the puzzle pieces are cut out. And they're just really cool. Liberty puzzles are made in the United States. They are manufactured, created, shipped out of Colorado. So they're not local to me because I live in Nebraska, but they're pretty damn close to me because Colorado is very near Nebraska. And so it's kind of cool to have a wooden puzzle, to work on a wooden puzzle with one of my good friends, and also to have it come from a place very near to me. I would say near and dear, but I actually don't spend a whole lot of time in Colorado, and I've only been to Denver, so that would be a lie. But near to me, very near to me, and dear to my friend, because my friend loves Colorado. So I'm very excited to do this next puzzle, and you'll have to let me know what you think of the first puzzle that we finished together. And then finally, I have a game recommendation for you. I know this is absolutely off topic, but this is what I've been doing lately. Ransom Notes. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Would not recommend that you play this with your children. The age limit is 15 and up. Even then, probably wouldn't play it with my children. I just wouldn't. There are some prompts in here that may make you blush. Let's just put it that way. This game is super fun. You get the like magnets, like the fridge magnets with words. Theo's having a fit in there. You get fridge magnets with words, like the old school, like fridge magnets that you can move around on your fridge, and you get a tray, like a metal tray that you can create a ransom note on, and they give you prompts. So like, for instance, one card is welcome someone to Walmart, and you have to do that with a limited number of like these magnetic pieces. And so you have to create a ransom note, and whoever has the best, like the funniest, the most unique response wins. And obviously there are more rules, but I have played this. I got this in the mail on Friday, and I have played this, I think, every single day since I got it in the mail. Maybe. I don't know. I'm basically forcing everyone that I know to play it with me because I think it's hilarious. It like really gets you sucked in. There are some of them, like I said, that'll make you blush, but sometimes those are the funniest ones to fill out because like some of the tiles or some of the little magnetic words are like pretty good for some of those responses. But again, like highly recommend. I think it is hilarious. There have been very few games that I pick up and I'm obsessed with immediately, and this is one of them. So again, not sponsored. Nobody sponsors me on this channel, but good game. I just got it on Amazon. I'm sure they have a website you can get it from. But yeah, no, great game. Would recommend. But yeah, that is all I have. I just wanted to pop on here and do a good old-fashioned podcast episode. But I hope you have a wonderful day. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a like. If you would like to hang out more, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, take care, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! The Nice Knit is a podcast where we talk about knitting. It's nice, and I'm gonna restart. Some of these are gonna be wet, just so you know. These mistakes were made. Hi, Theo. Hi. Do you want to show the people your sweater? Yeah. This is a knitting channel. We talk about sweaters all the time. Oh no, come back. Come here. Theo would like you to know that since he got a haircut, he is dressed as R2-D2. He will be wearing his R2-D2 sweater until his hair grows back. So he's super cute. There you go. Be free, my love. Oh, you smell like dog food. You smell like dog food. Silly boy.